Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for watching again on the Town with Tanya, and I'm your host. Thank you for coming back another week. Really appreciate you. And hey, if you get a chance to, please share this video because somebody out there could be inspired. So today's guest is an author, a writer, born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and he's from Queens, New York. His first book came out in 2008 and was Fulfilled Dreams. And he's here to share his second book with us, Beyond Fame. Please welcome Garry Saint John. Hello, Garry. How are you? How
Hello,
are you?
Tanya. How you doing?
Good.
I'm fine. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. So thank you for coming and onto the show today. We appreciate you. So your new book, Beyond Fame, what led you, before we get to that, what led you to writing? How did you become a writer?
I started writing when I was 17 years old. I was pretty good at English when I was in high school. I always knew that I wanted to write, so I started writing with writing poetry. Just writing notes down and writing like love poems and stuff. And from there, it started as a habit, and from there it developed into like something that I could see myself doing in the future.
Wow. When did you first, you said 17, but when did you write your first piece? You know, first thing you wrote that was like, this is it.
My first poetry I started writing when I was in high school. There was this girl that I had a crush on. I had to express myself to her some way. So the best way I could express myself to her was writing her some poetry. So I started writing from there, and it became a habit. And I got this feeling inside of me that poetry became like so fluent for me to express myself. So I started writing poetry every day, and from there, I started writing my first book, which was a poetry book in 2008.
What writer inspired you the most? Like my favorite is James Baldwin. Who's your favorite writer?
My favorite writer is Omar Tyree. He's one of my favorite writers. I read some of his books already, and I like his creative content. And from there, I started like developing my own writing style from reading some of his books.
Wow.
I also like the book of Tupac Shakur, The Words That Grew from Concrete, which was a poetry book. So I picked up that book pretty early too, and started reading some Tupac's poetry, which I as well.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, that was a good poetry book. What led you to write this book, Beyond Fame?
Beyond Fame, I would say it was by accident, because I consider myself a poet. So I started like poetry, and basically it's all I wanted to do. I started messing around, writing some scripts and stuff, and from there I just put it away, didn't really take anything serious of it. So my wife kind of picked up my book and started reading some of the scripts. She was like, yeah, it's something I was just messing around with. I'm thinking about writing another poetry book. She was like, why don't you do something with this right there? So she was like, in order for people to take you more serious as a writer, you have to be more creative and show your creative side. So I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do with this right here. So I started writing more, and I started developing these characters. And next thing you know, here I am with Beyond the Fame.
Right. That's what I'm gonna say. How did you come up with the character? Because the plot, I like the whole plot. You know, the fact that it's about a family and that, you know, something can actually break things up when you get money and fame. But tell us more about the story and how you came up with the characters. Yeah.
The story developed from how I wanted to write a story that people could captivate to, that could like get people's interest. So people always say keeping up with the Joneses. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make the last name the Joneses, and that's gonna captivate people to read and get to know who the Joneses are. So I started writing these characters, and I started developing this story about this family from California, who's very famous. But within them being famous, they dealt with like trials and tribulations and things within the family that they need to get better on. And they started up as like a perfect family, but like to they developed like issues with each other and things that they need to work on to be a stronger family. So there's a lot of drama, a lot of like miscommunication and things that they got to work on as a family.
Sounds like stuff that even any family would have to work on. If anybody who has to deal with fame and fortune, that's probably going to come up at some point. What was the hardest part about writing the book?
The hardest part of writing the book was to keep a story that could flow naturally, that people could understand, and people could grab something positive from it. Because when I write, I try to like implement positive things that people could capture from every piece of my writing. So this family is very successful, and they're from the South Los Angeles area, which is not a great upbringing for a lot of people. So they try to like elevate themselves and move towards better area to provide an opportunity for the kids. So from there, they ran into like stuff that kind of like prompted them from going into better situations. So they had to deal with these things in order to grow, in order to get better, in order to represent themselves like the way people think they should.
From what I read, I almost kind of wanted to see it on screen. Did you ever want to see something like this on a screen? Because I almost, you know how it would be like sort of like me reading Straight Outta Compton, just a little piece, but not quite that going left. But in the sense that family. Doughboys. Well, who's the one that had? No, the other gentleman. What's his name? Not what's his name? The other gentleman has a father that's around, and he has a mother that really cares about him. So it's like this thing, but they're trying to get out of this hood thing, whatever. So in that sense, it's something I'd like to see on screen because it sounds like a struggle that everybody can learn from.
You know? Yeah, pretty much this. It's related to that in the story. So I try to like create characters that from that standpoint where they are in the hood and they're trying to do it for themselves, but they don't know how. So there's a lot of communications, a lot of like reactions from the Joneses with things like that. So there's a character on there by the name of Dwayne. He went to jail, did his time, he came back home. He's trying to find himself in better situations and leave the life that he used to live behind. But he still was hanging out with friends that he hung out before he went to jail. So when he came out, it was like kind of hard to stay away from that environment. So he found himself back in that environment. So he ended up going back. So that kind of led like some of his cousins to like, you got a whole future ahead of you. Why would you put yourself in situations when you're supposed to learn from them and go and get better? So it's a constant thing that we think about as living in the inner city and things that happen and try to stay away from situations in order to elevate ourselves, in order to bring us to another level,
right.
In order to be successful, as to go and provide a better outlet for our family and stuff like that.
Right. Wow. Well, the book sounds amazing. We're going to take a little video break. Do you mind? You guys, we're going to take a little video break and come right back in a second. Just give me 1 second and I'll cue up the video. Just hang out with me 1 second right here in the green room and we'll be right back. Okay, guys? So here you go. Let's see. Ready? Okay, just stay right there. There you go. Okay. Ready? Boom.
I'm already looking away. I think you'll stay in close cause you love the thing. I never try to change you in any way. And when we get too close, you just push away. Don't you know I never hurt you? Try to change or break your heart. I'll never leave you alone in the dark. Why do you walk away, holding my heart? I'm there for you. Why can't you do the same for me? Why can't you treat me like the way I do? Why won't you do the same for me?
Hello, you are watching On the Town, and I'm your host, Tanya, and I'm here with author Garry. Here they are. There you are. The author of Beyond Fame, Garry Saint Jermaine. Thank you for that. We just had to take a little break there. So what surprised you most when you were writing? Can you hear me? What surprised you the most when you was writing the book?
Yes. Well, what surprised me the most was the creative side of it. Because this is my first novel, so I never wrote anything where I had to put so much creativity into it. Creative writing is something I always wanted to get into from my English classes and stuff in high school and college, and writing papers and stuff. And I actually wanted to be an English and literature major, so I wanted that to be my major when I was in college, but I never pursued it. So it's something I thought about, like, doing one day. So the creative side is kind of like what really surprised me. Once I started develop the characters, it kind of like, the process of it kind of like became so intense.
Right.
So I had to like be on point and be straightforward and be like make it clear so people could like understand these characters and actually fall in love with these characters, because each character has their own personality, and some people might have certain favorite characters in the book. So I try to create characters that way people would grasp something from each character, understand where it comes from.
How long does it take you to write a book like this? About a year?
It took me about 2 years. It took me about 2 years to actually finish it. And then the pandemic happened, so the production part of it, as far as like the editing and cover, took a little longer since COVID happened. It kind of slowed me down a little bit.
Okay.
But 2 year process with the writing and putting everything else together.
Okay. Nice. What advice would you give a new writer that's just starting out?
My advice is to be yourself. To write something that actually people could like and people could understand, people could enjoy. And don't be afraid to express yourself through your writing, because that's one thing I understand as a writer. You have to really express yourself the way you feel. Like express your writing, express your thoughts, your emotions, and because you put all that into your character. Because I try to put all the emotions or thoughts and all that into the characters and develop the best way that I can. So, because basically you want people to have a connection with these characters. So I did my best by trying to like implement like certain things that people could relate to, because a lot of people could relate to being in the city and not having the opportunity to expand and go. A lot of people could understand certain things as far as being famous, and with you being famous doesn't stop there. You still have to deal with life as in general. So life situation comes in place, so you have to understand how to cope with all the different things that comes with life. So with one of the characters with Devin, being one of the main characters, he dealt with like his highest and his lowest. He understood that by being famous, like there's a lot on his that he has to understand that, hey, there's a lot of eyes on me, so I have to basically do the right thing. I have to carry myself a certain way. He's a businessman, so he understands how to navigate through these things, but his personal life is what he has to work on in order to maintain his level of success.
Wow. Well, yeah, there's a lot that can be learned, it sounds like, from this story. Just basic life lessons. Now, do you think coming from Haiti originally, does that have any effect on your work, you think, or just that's, you're just there's nothing? Have you ever been inspired by just that alone? Like for future stories, sometimes I think of things.
No, not really.
Not really. Okay. Well,
coming from Haiti, when I was came to the States, basically, English is not my first language.
Your first language is what? We didn't hear you. We cut out for a minute. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Haiti, the language barrier was difficult. My first language is Haitian Creole, so being able to learn English and understand certain aspects of what you have to do and implement yourself. So I try to like implement myself the best way I can, and my tool writing is how I'm able to express myself and articulate myself, and for people to understand who I am and who Garry Saint Jermaine, the author, is. So, I try to like basically talk about things that I went through struggling as a young kid and from the inner city and not having the best life situation, and finally elevating myself to put myself in a position where I can be successful. So beyond the fame is basically about that. It's giving yourself the opportunity to make it, giving yourself an opportunity to be there, to understand what it takes. And it's a struggle, and we all struggle. We all come from situations where we wish we would have done better, but when the opportunity is there, that you just take it and then you go with it.
Right. Well, is that what you would like readers to take away from the book? What is the most important?
Yes, definitely, because the Joneses came from South Los Angeles. The opportunity wasn't always there for them, because Devin, his dad basically was in the streets. His dad died at a young age, and he never had that father figure. So his mom was around for a little bit after his dad passed. So she went to the Air Force, and left him with his aunt and uncles. So they took care of him. They taught him about family, about structure, about how to carry yourself. So he learned from that from his family still, and his mom did what she had to do by going to the Air Force and get
Wow.
herself situated so she could provide a better future for him. So the struggle was there from the beginning. So he wanted to do something different. He didn't want to do what his dad did or like beside because he didn't have a father figure. He wanted to elevate himself and do better than what dad did, and
Right.
becoming a businessman and providing and being there for his family and stuff like that.
Wow. Well, there's a lot to that book. Wow. Yeah, that's and that's a big topic too. A lot of families do well, I call it kindred care. A lot of kids do end up in kindred care where their family takes care of them because whatever circumstances, the mother can't do it at that moment. So that's interesting element to the book that I didn't know about. He said, I think he needs to get closer to the microphone. Someone said, sometimes you're cutting out. Okay, well, thank you for that advice. Yeah, so that's okay. I'm sorry, the technical difficulty is the app, the StreamYard. So I apologize, guys. But yeah, that's a big thing right now here in America is kindred care, people being raised by their aunties and uncles if they're lucky. If not, they go into foster care. But that's a big topic right now. Big topic. So I can't wait to read the book. What was the other question? So you know a lot of stuff going on with AI technology. How has that affected you at all as a writer? Has it helped or hurt, or is it hurting you? AI. You know that where you put a lot of writers
for
just in general, because a lot of writers are not a lot. Excuse me. Some of the non-writers are putting their information in what they want their book title, and then it pops out a book, which is horrible in my opinion. But what do you think? Has it hurt us?
Horrible, yeah.
It's not good because people like us who have an imagination, it's like, oh, well, we don't want all that, you know. So I don't know. Has it affected you at all?
Yeah. I think it hurt us because it takes away from the creativity process,
Right.
Exactly. That's the whole point of being a writer is the creative side of it. If you're taking something that you think about writing, and you transfer AI, you let AI think of it, like it didn't come from you personally. You didn't have an emotional connection with that thing. So to me, it's about having that emotional connection because beyond the fame and fulfill dreams, it was an emotional connection that I had with that piece of writing.
Right.
And I can take that and I can express that out there, and I can tell people about it. I can character like Devin's wife. Ashley, I can articulate how Ashley is feeling at a certain point when she's disappointed in her husband. I can articulate certain things from other characters in the book and express certain emotions from them. So you can't really get that from AI. You can't really get that from AI. That's how I feel about it.
No, I definitely think it's a hindrance. So some people, they love it, you know, when they get to write commercial copy or something like that. But for us, it's like a nightmare. It's like, no. So I even heard comics are using it. Comedians are using it. Like a lot of people, just for a lot of different fields. Some fields I understand, but for creative fields, absolutely no.
Yeah.
That's a no-no. So I'm glad it's not affecting you enough that you can't write. So I think there'll always be a market for real writers and real artists, like real live person artists, because people, they connect better. Like you said, it's a connection, you know. And if it wasn't a connection, then you know.
It is a connection because you want to like have that connection with people pick up your book and read it. They want to know more about the book, but they also want to know about you as a person.
Right.
and
Right.
what led you to writing the book, what thoughts and process that you were going to
Right.
to write the piece of art. So
Right. No, definitely. I like the connection. And then plus, I just like holding a book and flipping the pages. That's why ebooks didn't work for me, because I like holding my book.
yes,
But now that we're trying to save space,
yeah,
that's why ebooks do work, because nobody wants to have a tangible book on a shelf anymore. So it's an interesting time,
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I call it lazy time. So what are you working on now? Anything new? Are you working on anything new?
Right now I'm working on a sequel to Beyond the Fame. I just started working on it a week ago. So
Nice.
I'm in the big process of it. I'm hoping to have it finished by the end of next year.
Okay.
So look out for the sequel. So that's what I'm working on. It's basically gonna be a different process, different thought process, and same characters and different story on its own. So, but it's gonna line up with what the first one is. So,
Okay.
that's what I'm working on right now.
Nice, nice. And do you have any favorite books that you've ever read? What's your favorite book that you ever read?
My favorite book that I ever read was The Shack.
What's it called?
It's basically The Shack.
The Check? Ooh.
The Shack. Yeah, The Shack is basically yeah.
The
So
Shack.
that's one of my favorite books I've read so far. It's a pretty interesting story. It's really spiritual, and the story gravitates you and makes you understand about spirituality and connection with God and yourself as well. So
Nice. The Shack.
it was a great.
I'm going to write that down. The Shack, because I love good books, and I always ask writers because they have a better opinion, I think, of what books are good.
Yeah.
What is do you think book reviews? How important are they in our field? How important is book reviews?
Book reviews are very important because when you have your audience and stuff and people that read your books, they understand the content and understand the writers and they basically like help future writers and writers in general keep going with whatever content that they're going to bring. So I appreciate book readers. So with me as a writer, I appreciate that people that like actually pick up the books and read them and give me the feedback and stuff. And it makes me feel good as a writer, knowing that people understand my writing and they get something from it and get something positive out of it. So
yeah, wow. What's your favorite part about being a writer? Is it the actual thinking process, or the actual writing to pen to paper, or is it creating?
The creating process is my favorite part. Like you mentioned earlier, this book right here, hopefully, is something that I would want to see in a screenplay or a movie or something like that. So it shows me that the creative side is really important, and that's what I want to continue to work on for my future books and develop something that people could like basically could turn into a TV show or a movie, and expand from there, because that's gonna be my next venture, is to like write books for movies and stuff. So
Ooh, nice. Yes, we might have to partner up because I write screenplays.
Okay, definitely that would be great. That would be great.
Fun thing. We'll talk behind the scenes. What do you call it? What's the other one? So, what do you think makes a great story?
Great story. What makes a great story is basically the characters, and how the characters line up with each other. And beyond the fame, I try to like basically have all these characters lined up with each other, and everything should like flow naturally from character to character. The conversations, the content, and everything that comes along with it. Your content has to be great. People have to understand your content, and you have to have great content as a writer. So that's what I've learned. Putting out my first novel, the content has to be there. The creativity has to be there. The authenticity of it has to be there.
Yes.
But you have to be really authentic, because if you're not, people are not going to see that from you. So
Yes.
so try to be authentic, try to be creative.
Right.
And
which is why AI doesn't work.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Have you ever read a book from AI? I have. It's not good.
No, I haven't actually. No.
It's like, I'm like, wait a minute, this is almost too good to be true. It is. It's
Yeah.
like what is going on here? It sounds like a robot wrote this. You know?
Yeah.
Reads way different.
It's actually like when AI writes it, it's actually too perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And there's
you
no
shouldn't-
emotion, no feeling, no
Yeah.
what do you call it? No grit to it, no
No fit
something.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, something's missing.
Yeah.
You can tell. I think you can tell. I don't know. Maybe that's
Yeah.
just because I'm a writer. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
But so what we asked you already, what are you working on now? You said you're thinking about some other stuff. So that's good. Any advice you want to give to a new writer out there before we wrap up?
New writers out there, just
Speak close to the mic.
basically writing, show the creativity. Basically, don't give up on yourself. Even though you will have writer's block, because I've had writer's block, and there's times I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this, but you can't give up on yourself. You always gotta push through and see yourself like in a different space where you could learn the writing and basically like you start thinking about it every day, and it just becomes an easier process. So just stick with it, and don't give up, and even when times seem hard, you don't see the book sales going up, you can't give up, because if it's your dream, if it's your passion, like you can't give up on it.
Right. That's right. Well, don't give up on your dream, guys. And thank you so much, Garry. We appreciate you so much for taking the time to come and check out On the Town with Tanya. And we hope that your book sells and goes to #1.
Okay. And I want to thank you too, Tanya. Thanks for having me on the show, and I appreciate this moment a lot.
Oh no, definitely. My whole show was based on everybody deserves 15 minutes, and if you're really a creative, I shouldn't even be able to judge someone as long as it's really creative work. I think it should always be promoted, and it shouldn't cost you anything, and it should be something genuine, a genuine audience connecting with a genuine artist. I don't think it's somehow or another it got caught up in the matrix of I'm Beyonce, which is fine if you want to be Beyonce. And no offense to Beyonce, but not everybody's Beyonce, and not everybody's James Baldwin, right? James Baldwin. Not everybody's James Baldwin, but that's okay. That doesn't mean you don't have work just as important.
Definitely. People always like see themselves like in a bubble. Like you gotta expand and you gotta think greater. You know what I mean? Because if you keep thinking small, you're gonna receive small things. So you gotta keep thinking greater. And that's my aspiration. I think big, and I'm gonna keep thinking big. So
that's right. That's the way to do it. You gotta always think big. That's what I say. Because you know, we normally have small things, but to think big, you have to really think big and believe it.
Yeah, believe it. Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations on your second book. I'm sure you'll have many more, and I'm hoping this one makes it to a #1 seller. So keep plugging away. I've seen you on a lot of different things. Keep plugging away. I'm a firm believer in people who really use the gift that God gave them. If you don't believe in God, the universe, whatever you believe in, I believe in God, but whatever you believe in.
Yeah, I believe in God also, because without him, I wouldn't be here. So
tell it.
I think everything.
Tell it. Yes, I would not be here. That's special. I know for sure I wouldn't be here. But whatever gifts he gave you, which is why I started doing the show, because I just feel like there's so many people with so much talent, and we're never going to see them. We're never going to hear from them because they didn't make it to Fox 5 or whatever station are out there, because they don't want you unless you have a great press release, you have a great story, and usually you have to bump up the story to get on. So this book, he was talking about shooting and killing everybody, you might be a popular book, right? But there's a message of hope. Maybe not, you know. So that's I'm very oh, you can get the book on Amazon. I'll show you where, Grandma. Yes, you can get the Grandma wants to know where to get the book. I have it right.
It's available on Amazon now.
Yeah, it's right there on Amazon. I'll send you the link, Graham. I'll send you the link. If anybody needs the link for where to get the book, let me know, and I will send it to you, inbox it to you on your Facebook Messenger or email, whatever you want. It's very easy to get in touch with me. You know, everybody knows where to find me on all the mediums, and I put up Gary's all his information: TikTok, Instagram. So he's out here. He's out here in these social media streets. He's really out here. TikTok, you can catch him. So make sure, if you don't know or don't remember, you can always inbox me. Not a problem. Because I would like to support him and get his book, because we have to support artists, real artists that are really taking their time, using their brain, thinking process, taking a while to write stuff. Those are the people who want to support actors who are really out here. By the way, we support actors, the strike going on with SAG. Please, guys, support them. And if you can donate to their charities that help with the actors, yes, please do it, because if we don't nip this in the butt now, it's going to be a world of just straight AI, and poor actors will be out of work because some robot took their spot, or worse, now they'll just put their image or likeness thereof in a movie with the AI, and the actor won't get paid. So now they're starving. So it's very important that we stick together on this. Everybody, writers, actors, everybody who's in any of those type of fields, creative fields, you must stick together, because we have to show them that they're making trillions of dollars. Like, the least they can do, we're not even asking for pennies compared to what they get, you know, and they don't want to give up their power. That's what that's about. That's what that really is about. I want it all, and I want you just to be struggling forever while I get rich and live in a mansion. That's the scenario, but it's not going down. People are not accepting it. So actors, hold out as long as you can. People, support actors if you can. Support their charities like AIG. Look for my friend Chris Chin there on my site. Go see what the name of the organization is. Support all those organizations that help actors during hard times or whatever. So it's very important. Writers, very important to support. As a viewer, that's what I'm asking you. Just when you hear about it, listen, pay attention, and try to help if you can, because it's important. We won't have you won't have anything creative if we don't do it now. So I appreciate you guys for watching. And Gary, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to bring your talent and share your work with us. I appreciate you so much. And I'm sorry, guys, for the sound. StreamYard, sometimes I don't understand why, but they have this thing with this sound connection. Sometimes it gets funky. So we apologize, but I think you got the message. I think you pretty much can hear what was going on. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Joe. You love Amazon. I know, I love Amazon too. Yes, Amazon's really good. So thank you, guys.
Amazon's pretty good. Yeah.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say Amazon's pretty good. I did the whole book to Amazon KDP. So okay. Definitely the book is available on Amazon. So
okay, so that's good. Well, they know how to reach me. I know who's asking, and I usually go back and follow up. So it's all good. Guys, share the video if you can. And despite the sound, I'm sure you get the message. That's all that matters. Remember, we don't do any glam here. No fancy stuff. No fancy edits. We're real people doing real things, talking about real stuff, and trying to enlighten our audience to just let everything be natural. Like, let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? No, my face is not unglamorized. My braids look great. Thank you, Charlotte Mancia. Thank you. My braids look great, but I don't, I'm not all fancied up. No, I'm not. Because why? Because it's about his book, Beyond Fame, Garry Saint Jermaine. It's about him, not what I look like and all this other family. That's all fluff. We don't want fluff here on this show. We want real people and real things to talk about. So just understand, if you watch this show, you're not going to be getting a super popped out glam, unless I just happen to got lucky and went out, and then I come on the show and happen to be made up. But I'm not going to go do all that stuff, because then you forget what you're here for, right? If I'm all pretty out, and, chest out, you're going to be like, oh, look at her, instead of like, what does the artist have to say? So that's what we're about here on the Town with Tanya. I hope you can appreciate that. If you can't, there's plenty of other channels where you can get a lot of gossip, garbage stuff. So if you want garbage in your brain, go for it. You know what I'm saying? I wish you the best in the garbage, but I'm not into the garbage anymore. I'm at the age now where I'm trying to elevate people and have people elevate themselves, because I just feel like everybody in this life deserves to live their best life. If you have 2 cents or $2 million, you deserve to live your best life. And God gave you some talent that you're not using and that you should be using. That's why I have all the people I have on my show. In some form or another, they are here to inspire you. And Garry, yourself, your inspiration, you know what I'm saying? You just want to start writing, you started writing. Boom, that's it. That's how you become a writer. Just start writing.
I know. As a kid growing up, I never really thought that I would have a second book out, rather than the first book. So if you have a dream, it's something that you're passionate about, just go for it. Don't worry about what people think about you. Don't worry about the masses. Don't worry about what's out there. As long as you believe in yourself and your ability to do what you say you're gonna do, just go with that.
That's it, and that's all. So you heard that, guys. Go with that, and don't forget about it. All right. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to share. Go get the book, Beyond Fame. And what else? Did I forget anything? Like, subscribe, share. There's one thing I want to say, that we support the writers. We stand with all the actors that are still on strike in SAG-AFTRA. We thank you. And before we go, I have one more banner for you, lovely people. Before we go, don't forget. All right, let's see if this works out. Hold on, Garry, hang out with me.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, 2 books. Let's see, 2 books. I'd like for you to make sure you get these books, guys. All right. So thank you very much. I appreciate you, Garry. Hang out with me. Don't go anywhere. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Stay right there for a second. I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you, guys. I see you out there, Joe, Grandma. I see you out there. I don't know who's on this, Emma or Yvonne. I can't tell who's on the other. Can't see you on YouTube. I'm sorry. But thank you so much for taking time to watch. Please share and like. And our music today was by Tatiana. Thank you. And that's it. I will see you next week with the singer David. I can't remember the last name right now, but I'll see you next week with the singer. All right. Bye. Stay with me.